Ken Trahan with Lenny Van Gilder. It's our First NBC Bank weekend preview brought to you by First NBC Bank with 35 locations throughout southeast Louisiana and into the Florida Panhandle. That's First NBC Bank, proud sponsor of SportsNola.com. Well, the New Orleans Pelicans are in the home stretch, finally, mercifully, and they have an appearance by Kobe Bryant, his last as an NBA player at Smoothie King Center. No doubt there will be a lot of Lakers jerseys in the stands, a lot of Lakers fans as always. That used to really bother Monty Williams when he coached here, but such is the nature of the NBA. It's a star-driven league. It has been since the 80s, and that's simply the way it is.
Well, and the thing to remember is this. Pro basketball has only been back in New Orleans since 2002, and even with that, there's not a lot of – you've got Pelicans fans, but there's still plenty of other people who have established – fandom of other teams, of other players. Kobe Bryant predates, the Pelicans or the Hornets being here. In fact, he was drafted by the Hornets when they were still in Charlotte before he was traded. So, it doesn't bother me a lot. Of course, it would be nice to see 18,000 people pulling only for your team in the building, but that is just not the nature of what you see.
No, it's a great opportunity to see one of the all-time greats for a final time. And if you want to get the fans on your side, you got to win. You have to win something, and ultimately that has to be the goal and has to be what's achieved if that's going to transpire. With regard to college baseball, it was a great start for LSU against second-ranked Vanderbilt in their series. They demolished the Commodores 13-4, had a 13-0 lead going to the ninth, and called off the Dogs, so to speak. Now comes the most important game, and I say that because they've got to win this series now that they won the first game, Lenny. And Lang has not been the same guy. He's got a 5.02 earned run average, 26 walks, and he has got to step up because if he doesn't step up, LSU has no chance to threaten in the SEC or on a national basis.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, the most important thing LSU has to play for is being probably one of the four best teams in the SEC and being in position to host come the week after Memorial Day. You want to be able to play at home. I had a perfect world. You want to get yourself in the top 8 seeds where you get a chance to host a super regional. You don't want to have to try to make it all the way through the postseason on the road. That is a difficult task. And that starts with winning these kind of series to kind of, peck your way up the ladder. And like you mentioned, Lang's got to be better. And for the long haul, it was certainly encouraging to see what Poche did last night on short rest, 7 shutout innings. And it looks like, to me, LSU is starting to get it rolling. The thing we were really most critical of while the pitching was struggling is the fact that this young offense couldn't get hits with runners in scoring position. Well, all of a sudden, you look at the last 4 games, and they've put up close to 40 runs total. So that's encouraging.
Yeah, Greg Dykman, 3 more hits. The Brother Martin product really swinging the bat well. Cody Ducote got in that bat and ripped a single to left. He's back healthy, and let's hope he can contribute moving forward. Tulane, of course, they've got an important series this weekend as well. UNO has McNeese and Southeastern on the road at Northwestern State.
Yeah, the Tulane-East Carolina series at Turchin is big. And now that Tulane is in conference play and out of the snow of Connecticut, there's some big opportunities here for David Pierce's team. And they really let one get away Tuesday night at home against Southeastern. Came back, got a lead, and then needed to put that shutdown inning up there and couldn't do it. The thing when Tulane has gotten themselves in trouble this year, not necessarily their offense, pitching's been solid for the most part, but when they start walking guys is when they've really hurt themselves. And you go back and look at some of those Tuesday losses that they've incurred, and that is what's happened. They've given free base runners to the opposition, and whether it was by defense or by base on balls, and that is really what has come back to bite them.
High school baseball and the First NBC Bank Prep Showcase continues with a doubleheader Friday night, tonight, from Kirsch-Rooney Stadium, Catholic League style, and we're looking forward to it.
Should be good. Hopefully as good as what we saw on Thursday. Brother Martin Shaw starts things off live here on Sports NOLA at 4 o'clock. Then at 7, thereabouts, it'll be Jesuit and Archbishop Rummel. It should be 2 good baseball games. Anytime at this point, look, the Catholic League has been terrific this year in terms of both balance, in terms of play, in terms of quality. You really like what you've seen there. And if you didn't get a chance to see that game yesterday, we had live on Sports NOLA between Riverside Academy and St. Charles Catholic. You can watch it today. That's Friday, 5 p.m. on WHNO TV 20. Won't provide the spoiler there, so but do check it out. It was a good one.
A very well pitched game. Let's leave it at that. And radio on Saturday, John Curtis and Rummel, 2 p.m. at Kirsch-Rooney Stadium on WGSO 990 AM. So no doubt a busy week. Masters going on this weekend. We'll know all about the results on Monday and see if we have any more history made at that wonderful event. I actually know a couple of people that are there right now. They're pretty lucky people. They've got nice lives.
It's a bucket list item for me to get there. Look, even if it's on a Monday to watch a practice round, I'd much rather be there, of course, on the weekend and seeing what's going on. But just to witness that in person one time, that U.S. Open or 1 and 1A in terms of the golf world. You talk about I got family at St. Andrews right now, so that's pretty impressive.
Very impressive. All quiet on the Saints front right now, but that's going to change very shortly as the draft approaches on April 28th. So more on that coming up next week. I think that just about does it.
Wait, the Saints preseason schedule came out yesterday.
We can mention that. It's preseason, but we can mention that.
We're talking about
2 games on the road. We're talking about practice. 2 games on the road to start and then 2 home games, right?
Yeah, and we expected to see that there based on the timing of some of the renovations that they're doing inside the dome with the massive HD LED screens that are going into both end zones, or basically extend the width of the end zones. Is going to be unbelievable. Looking forward to seeing that, but they need the time to finish that up, and then we'll get to see Baltimore and Pittsburgh the last 2 weeks of the preseason.
You really buried the lead. The reason that we pushed it back is so the renovation to the Saints Hall of Fame Museum could be completed in time. But you should have known that.
I should have known that.
It's all good. Just kidding. But that is happening, and you will enjoy it. Totally different when you see it. Lenny, thanks. Have a great weekend.
See you Monday.
That's our first NBC Bank weekend preview brought to you by First NBC Bank with 35 locations throughout the New Orleans area and beyond. That's First NBC Bank, proud sponsor of SportsNola.com. He's Lenny, and I'm Kenny, and you have a great weekend, and God bless.